Hi everyone, Custom Designs here. This is part 6 of the HK 132nd scale B-25B Mitchell build. So as you can see, we've done work to the wings, we've done work to the Bombardier section, and we've done some more work to the cockpit section. So we're kind of all over the place with the build, and that is by design, just because obviously while one thing is drying, I can move on to the next and so on and so forth. So lots to cover today in this video. Obviously, different techniques and methods were used to construct all this. So, sit back. This might go a little long, but I know right away you guys are probably noticing there is armor to the back of the seats in the cockpit. And immediately I can just hear people saying, hey, wait, I thought they stripped down the planes of armor and anything really heavy. And you guys are right. They did strip down the planes, and, obviously they added fuel and other things to the plane. But you got to get Hollywood out of your head, right? Especially the movie Pearl Harbor. I mean, that's for dramatics, right? They wanted to show you that the planes went under, modification, things like that. But that is accurate. And Mr. Briscoe, obviously you can see his name in the top there. He was kind enough to send me some stuff and his book, which is a beautiful read. And Mr. Ted Briscoe there, he's been with the Raiders since 1986, I believe, and was friends with all the Raiders that were alive since 1986, including Jimmy Doolittle. So he's an ultimate authority on this, and if you're sharp-eyed and read the comments, he has been commenting on this, so he is an authority on this project, and in fact, this project is for him. Again, I will release at a later date what this is all for. So everything that is going on and into this plane is as correct as it can be. So if you see it, it was there, and Mr. Briscoe can confirm that. So that was there. So that's why you see the armor plates there. Again, so that's as accurate as I could probably get it to be. So that's why they're there. So we're not quite done with the cockpit yet, obviously, but I did want to get those in there now. And then, of course, we're starting work with the Bombardier section. As you can see, I got a package of Lucky Strikes sitting right there. We'll probably add some more cigarettes, like cartons and such later. I'll just spin this around. As you can see, still got tape on the side, just so I don't get any overspray and things like that on there. But we're starting to add the Edwards sets and such, and I'll be adding, thread and stuff to simulate wires and such later. And then we'll add some more May Wests, more Life Vests, at a later date. And then we'll add a 30 cal, in the stowed position at a later date. I got a cool 30 cal later. And then on the bulkhead, we'll add, the ammo cans and such, but this is just in the starting phase, right? So these are all Edwards sets that you see there for the panels. So that's just at the starting, the starting processes, I guess you can say. And of course that floor, that is an Edwards set. Otherwise that would have been just a blank piece of plastic. So, that is kind of cool. Because this will be totally visible, right? Because this is just one solid piece of, glass, right? So that is coming along really nicely. So moving on to the wings. Now, obviously, these things are huge, right? Here's my hand, and there is the wings. Now, I do have a 1/72nd B-25 from Hasegawa, and there is 1/72nd scale next to a 1/32nd scale. So you can just imagine the size. Now, the 1/72nd scale Hasegawa B-25 is pretty nice, actually, and it almost builds the same as a 1/32nd. But there's the scale difference anyway, if you're wondering. But anyway, we'll just get that out of there. So the colors I used for, obviously, there's your mustard yellow for that. And then, of course, I used, obviously, the Starship Filth to green it up. Now on camera it looks more yellow, but in person this looks more green. It's just the way the camera's picking it up. So in person this looks more of the interior zinc chromate green, but on camera it looks yellow, just the way it is. So we're going to take that out of there for now. So for the wings, I used the NATO black to simulate the de-icing. And then, of course, we got the good old neutral gray, we've got the olive drab, and then we have the TS13 clear to finish it all off. And then I did the decals. Now, we're not done with the decaling yet, obviously. I'm going to make my own decals for the U.S. Army, obviously, to go on the underside. Now, prior to doing the clear coating, you can see I discolored the panels right here. Now, I used this stuff right here. And that's just basically discoloring it just a little bit. Just obviously because these planes were heavily used prior to going on mission, right? Because these were used in, I believe, Oregon for anti-submarine patrol. I believe it was Portland. I can't be sure completely. I think my history is correct on that. I think it was in Portland, Oregon. I was reading in my books there, but I know they were definitely well used long before going on the Doolittle raid. And then if you look close, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can see that I discolored the panels there. And that's using this stuff right here. I love my 502 Optimal paints, and this is olive green. Now what I usually do is I take my tape, obviously you can see, I select certain panels and then I paint in the olive drab. I leave it for a day and then I come back and I wipe it all off. And then I usually have to leave it for a good couple days to really let it dry. And then I take my Starship Filth and usually with the soupy mix, and you can see I discolored it there. This is prior to decaling and prior to clear coating it. And you can see all the panels that are discolored. The camera might not be picking up all of it, but let's see here. See if now, obviously, weathering and paint chipping has to go on here next, because obviously the wings look still kind of new. I just freshly put the decals on, as you can see. They still look like decals, but we're not done with it yet. But you can see I got the panels all discolored and such. These things here were scratch built. These vent covers. I'm not too sure what the correct terminology is. But again, we're not done with the... Like again, these look like decals, so we're not done with that yet. The main thing right now was to get the panels discolored, I guess you could say. Now also too, on this one right here, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, I did a little indent right here. You probably can't see it, and I did it on purpose. Because the one thing I noticed, I don't know if it'll even pick it up, I did a little bit of a dent. I don't even think the camera will pick it up. Because I noticed with plastic models and stuff, there's a bit of a dent right there in the middle. Because I noticed with a lot of model kits and stuff, there's no stress in the plastic. If you know what I mean, like, because real planes and stuff with the aluminum and whatnot, there's stresses on the aluminum, right? And because we did so much work to here and on the engines and such like that, I wanted the wings to show a little bit of stress too. So I did a little bit of a dent right here. I don't know if I'm going to try and show you in the camera. You can see a little bit of a dent right there. Just to show, and I did it purposely right there on the insignia, because if I did it right here, it would really show a dent. And then people would think, oh, you made a big mistake or something right there. So I did it purposely on the decal, so it would be a subtle little dent. You could probably see it right there. So you could probably tell right there. Just to show a little bit of stress on the aluminum. That way, and I'll show you the underside of the wings here too. It shows a little bit of the weathering and stuff that I did. There we go. And of course it'll say US and then Army. But I have to make those decals. But getting back to the dent, just to show, because I mean obviously we did work here, right? And so once we paint and stuff, it'll look like the stress on the aluminum, if you get the idea from flying time and things like that. So, but I didn't want to just put it here or somewhere like that, because then it might look like a model mistake. Because at least if I did it here and did it with a decal over top, you might not even see it. But at least now it flows. So maybe I got it across wrong. I don't know. Moving on. Anyway, for these lights right here, I didn't want to paint them. I used these things from binders, and I put them on the underside. And then of course I masked when I went to paint. So I find that gives more of a real light effect. So basically, these little things for me to get on the tabs from binders, I just put these on the underside and taped them from underneath. And then when I went to paint the wings and such like that, I just used a liquid mask. And I find that gives it a more of a realistic light look to it. Now you're probably all wondering, how did I get those decals? Now, I was going to make them, and then I realized that my 1/32 B-17s come with the decals, but you only get two that actually fit the B-25 model. These ones are too big, these ones are just right. Now luckily I have two B-17 models, and which give me four. So I'll have, obviously, these ones will go on the side of the plane, and I had two to go in the wings. So luckily that will work out perfectly, and I don't have to make those. And I can easily make the US Army, because these are way too big, as you can see, for the wings. Way too big. So those will be easy to make, the US Army ones. It'll take time to put them down, obviously, but the insignia work perfect. So there we go. Now I think I covered pretty much everything I needed to cover. The gas cap decal set, if you're wondering, that's just from this set here, Kit's World. Obviously we'll be using these a bit later for the prop things. And then obviously the little markings right here. Obviously we'll have to scratch out the J, but that's that set right there. So more work yet to be done. Well, lots of work yet to be done, but we're well on our way. And the engines have to go in yet. Lots of work to be done on the engines, the flaps, things like that, and then obviously the paint chipping, the weathering. So I mean, this is just the first or second stage of the wings. And yeah, so it's really coming along. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I look forward to your comments, guys. So thanks so much. Bye.